He didn't know that he didn't know.
I didn't know before that he didn't know, and then I knew, and then it was like, ah.
Well, it's arguing with Tom and Jerry. Arguing.
I'm Tom.
I'm Jerry.
Arguing with Tom and Jerry. Arguing.
He's Tom.
And he's Jerry.
The kids and I went to Pizza Hut and just got a pizza and some salads, and there was one piece of pizza left. And I think this is funny. It's taken us, like you and I, like 32 videos, 6 weeks to get like 1,000 views total.
Right.
And my daughter was being silly with the last piece of pizza and said, let's all split it. And she decided to cut it like lengthwise 4 ways.
I saw the video. Like I didn't even mean to see it. I was just, like I like to browse TikTok and stuff, and I saw this video. Yeah.
Yeah, so Eli decided to capture her cutting that
Right.
in those ridiculously skinny slices, and he's got like 1,600 views in like less than 48 hours.
We're in the wrong business, dude. Yeah. Is he being cocky about it?
No, he's just excited. I was gonna do 3 impressions.
All right, impression number 1.
Impression number 1, Chris Farley.
Okay.
You remember when Donald Trump was the president, and then he ran for his second term, and he went all over the place, and he gave speeches, and he drew like huge crowds everywhere he went, and you remember that? And then Joe Biden ran against him, and Joe Biden didn't go anywhere, and he didn't do anything, and he could hardly talk, and then Donald Trump ended up getting more votes than he got the first time, and but Joe Biden got even more votes than any president in history. Do you remember that?
Am I supposed to be like Pauly Shore or Adam Sandler or something? Oh yeah. Oh, there's that. Sorry, I just yeah, I got it.
Stupid. All right, my next one is Mitch Hedberg.
Oh, love that guy.
Wait. I want to live in a town with no stop signs. Just yields. It's 2 a.m. in the morning, and there ain't no one around. Just glide on through, little brother.
Love that. That could have been a Mitch Hedberg joke.
All right, now
Impersonation
Norm
number 3.
Macdonald. Norm Macdonald.
Oh man, another one of my favorites. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Hey, I was cleaning up my living room the other day, and I came across a picture of you. A self-portrait. When'd you have that one taken? Good God. And then I was putting it away, and I found a picture of your family reunion. Jesus.
Oh man, such.
Hey, this is one of those Negro hats.
They give them away once a summer, Norm.
All right, I'm done.
Those are great. I mean, those are really, really good. I'm proud of you.
I was driving to work in a small town, or it was like late at night, and I thought, why do we even have stop signs in this town? It's so dumb. You don't even need them.
Mm-hmm. So when you guys went to Pizza Hut last weekend, is it like a dine-in Pizza Hut?
Yeah.
They still have that?
And they still have a full salad bar.
Really?
It's like the only one around, yeah.
I remember that when I was a kid, but nowadays there aren't any of those in my neck of the woods.
I had to go to a different town.
Yeah.
I got a couple things. Do you have anything you wanted to argue about?
I have a few, but you go right ahead. This is your show, man.
Oh, no, it's not my show. I mean, I just had some notes written down is all.
Yep, that's what I have.
I haven't brought anything for quite a while.
Come on. Hey, give me 1 second. Okay, I apologize.
No problem. Hey, are you familiar with the player of the Chiefs named Willie Gay?
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking, it'd be funny if he talked like Forrest Gump, and like when he introduced himself, he'd say, "Hi, I'm Willie Gay."
Yeah, that would be funny. Would it be funny if his last name was Green?
Yeah, anything.
It'd be funny, right?
Yeah, it could be anything. Just
could be
he's
anything.
emphasizing it.
Yeah,
His last name could be Straight.
it could be.
I'm Willie Straight. Well, he would say Straight, not Stwait. But
You never know. Willie Slade.
Have you ever been to a restaurant and you're looking at the menu, it's like item number 14, you know what's in it?
Yeah.
And it says it's chicken and rice and I don't know what else, you know, some other things, carrots and seasoned with spice.
Not very specific.
Yeah. I've run into that several times.
Could be anything.
It could be anything.
Could be cinnamon.
I just assume that all restaurants use spice in every dish.
The good ones.
Like, you don't have to just list that it's spice. If you're going to say that, then just don't say anything at all.
Don't say anything at all. Exactly right. It's like saying it comes on a plate.
Yeah, and then we'll serve it to you at your table where you're dining.
Right.
People always say that a pot of chili and stuff like that is way better after it sits a day or two.
Now, it's funny. Once again, we had this moment last episode, but it's funny that you bring this up because I was having a similar thought. So you go ahead.
It's not true.
It isn't?
It's way better when it's fresh. It's way more flavorful, like right after it's cooked and been simmering.
No, it isn't.
Then
As a matter of fact, it isn't.
So you actually do think it gets more flavor after it sits in the fridge?
There are some things that are better right now, and then there are some things that are better tomorrow. And I think
I've tried it again and again, and it seems to me like it definitely has less flavor after it's sat in the fridge.
I don't know. That might be maybe your particular chili is best like served right out of the pot. Soups.
It's been a long time.
Soups,
Yeah.
chilies. We had some jambalaya on Fat Tuesday, and I felt like it was better on day 2 after all the flavors had a chance to settle and congeal or whatever it is they do.
Okay, so you're a believer.
I am a
you know why they call it Fat Tuesday?
Fat Tuesday.
You know why they call it that?
Uh-uh.
My understanding is it kicks off the Catholic Lenten fast.
Yeah. So you get fat?
And so, you fatten up. It's just like before Yom Kippur.
Okay.
Right before you do your big 24-hour fast or whatever, you know, everyone eats. There's a big meal and everything to try and make the fast go easy.
What do they call that?
I don't know.
They don't have an
Erev Yom Kippur meal or something.
Doesn't sound as fun to me as
Right.
Fat Tuesday when you just like all hell breaks loose. Yes, it's
Um,
better on day 2, and I would even venture to say that there's the occasional pizza that might be better on day 2. And you just leave it set out. You don't even put it in the refrigerator. You just let it set on the table overnight.
Do you ever put a slice of pizza in like a cast iron skillet and warm it up that way? That's delicious. That's better than when it's brand new.
I believe it. I haven't ever done that, but I believe it. It rings true to me.
It's great on a low heat. It takes a long time, but it really crisps up the bottom of the crust. Do you think maybe Socrates? We talked about Socrates recently.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about maybe we don't know all the truth about like why he needed to be put to death.
Right.
Maybe he was like a real smartass.
Right.
You know, and maybe he was doing that whole like a humble brag all the time.
Uh-huh.
I don't know anything.
Yeah.
You know, like the
Don't listen to me.
like the Phil Hartman cave. I'm just a simple caveman.
Right. I'm
you
just
know?
I'm
And
just
people
a
were just
Southern lawyer.
and people were just sick of it. You know,
They could
messing
see
with
right
their
through
kids
it.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's just playing dumb all the time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. I love that. That's exactly
I'm just
right.
a simple philosopher.
Yeah.
Well, that's about all I got.
I'm not
I
going to
have some other
argue with you
things.
about much of that besides the day two food. I will stand over here and argue on this side for day two food.
Okay, what about this? People seem to hate confident people. People are quick to be like, "Oh, he's so cocky,"
Or they love them. Or they love them.
or they love to hate them.
No,
or they can't.
It was a perfect phone call. We won.
Right.
We won. It's rigged. I'm rich. I'm wealthy beyond your wildest imagination, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, it just seems like people are like, have this attitude of like, who do you think you are, feeling all good about yourself, all confident, and believing in yourself. I hope, I want to see you fail.
Right.
I hope I get to see you fail.
Yeah.
And it made me think that it's like maybe it's the crabs in a bucket syndrome thing or whatever that's called. Where you heard about that? Familiar with that?
One crab climbs to the top and the other one's like dragging him down.
Yeah, like if it's just one crab in a bucket, supposedly it could just climb out, no problem. Right. But once you get two or three in there, then one starts to make a break for it, and the other ones are like, "Where do you think you're going?
Right.
You're not better than us.
Right.
You're not leaving the plantation.
Uh-huh.
You're not. You don't get some freedom."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Confidence is sexy, though, they said.
Mm.
So you might hate him, but the confident guy gets all the girls.
Oh.
And gets all the political donations and stuff too.
That's a good hat, though.
We were talking about like mouthwash, and I just thought the concept was kind of funny, and I was like, okay, well, wait, there's body wash, like a liquid kind of dispenser, and then there's mouthwash, and then there's eye wash, right?
Yeah.
And is there nose wash?
Yes.
There's something like that.
It's like
right?
Yeah, it's like a saline.
Yeah.
Flush
right.
thing. Helps with allergies a lot.
And then ears. Is there like an ear wash, or is that just where you put the candle in your ear?
I don't know anything about ear wash or candle.
I don't know that there's any. I mean, I'm sure there's an ear wash. I mean, if there's not, then we should start one. Because you'd probably be able to sell it.
What's a candle in your ear? What's that?
There's some sort of like hippie myth where like you have like your ears all clogged up, and you like put a candle, like a birthday candle, in it and light it, and somehow or another that's supposed to like kind of like pull the blockage out. I've
never heard of it.
I don't know how effective it is. You might just end up with a candle stuck in your ear. I was wondering then is there brainwash?
Is that where earwax comes from?
Mm-hmm. From
the candle wax?
Correct. I was like, if you don't use the candle technique, then you don't ever have to worry about earwax, I don't think.
Then you just have candle wax in your ear.
Right. Correct. And then I'm not going to go too deep with this because I'd be robbing routines and gags from my other friends. But it's like mouthwash. Like, what if it was mouthwash? Like it's like this. Our mouthwash is mouthwashed. It like washed. Cleaned and
like pre-washed.
Yeah,
like when you buy lettuce.
Yeah,
pre-washed.
Yeah, it's mouthwash.
It's already.
Yeah,
it's already been mouthwashed.
Yeah, it's mouthwash.
You don't. All you have to do is just put it in your mouth.
Yeah,
it's ready to go.
Yeah, it's already been washed in a mouth. Once again, I didn't know if that's kind of where the term brainwash came from. Was from all of the different washes that you have. Would you like a skunk? Like, say, for a pet, if they didn't like spray and like have like the foul odor like that they spray around?
No way.
You wouldn't?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
I had some skunks charge me once.
Huh.
It was like a whole family of them out in the backyard. And I went and got my flashlight and went out on the deck and shined it like directly into the eyes of one. And he was probably 20 or 30 yards away.
Mm-hmm.
And he just started sprinting right towards me. Probably towards the light, I guess.
Yeah.
But that freaked me out.
Yeah. I mean,
I
he's,
don't need that in my life.
He's only like this big, right?
I don't know if it was the mom or the dad. It was the adult. It was big. Yeah. Yeah.
Like a cat.
Yeah.
So would you like cats if they sprayed like a foul odor on you? Would you have cats in your house?
No, I would not.
Right. I don't know.
Would you?
No, I wouldn't have a cat in the house
would?
that did that.
Uh-uh.
Would you have a rabbit in the house if it wasn't good to eat?
I wouldn't have a rabbit in the house, no.
You wouldn't. You got to.
How come rabbits can't just run around the house like other pets? How come everyone puts them in a cage?
Because they chew on shit.
So I wouldn't have one in my house then.
Right. At least this is what I've been told or witnessed a few times. It seems like the rabbits kind of like they kind of, I don't know how well they respond to, like,
They're always going,
don't do that, you know? Like,
right.
they seem,
Yeah, like my cats now know that when I say, "Do you want to go outside?" they start running to the back door just like a dog.
right.
I don't know if a rabbit would ever do that.
Doesn't seem like it. They seem kind of dumb.
Mm-hmm. And even if they did, they would never come back.
That's one way to get rid of them.
If you got a rabbit infestation in your house,
You just
you just
open the
offer
door.
to take it outside.
Yeah, just open the door.
Yeah. That's one way.
Right.
There's other ways.
It's like, hello, Mr. Exterminator, Mr. Pest Control. I've got a rabbit infestation in my house, and they'd be like, well, have you opened the door? I mean, that's the first thing they might ask you. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like when you have you need technical support, and the first thing they say is, "Well,
have you unplugged
did
it?
you unplug it?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it such a bad thing to have a shallow grave? I wonder. Like, I just wonder about the whole, like, they buried him in a shallow grave. Like, yeah, I mean, okay. Like, what's the big deal?
If it's nomadic people and they're moving around
Mm-hmm.
and they're not going to be there,
Yeah.
to see when it gets dug up by animals and just ripped to pieces, and like, because no one wants to see a loved one, parts of a loved one over here and parts over there. You want to remember them when they were all put together.
That's assuming that you'd go visit them, like in the grave or whatever. I mean, if you just put them in the shallow grave, then you just left and never went back and visited them, then I don't know.
You mean like in a graveyard?
I don't really care where it is. Just does something.
Well, I just figured like the location would be important. Like a shallow grave, if it's just in your backyard, that you got a problem.
I feel like if you have a grave in your backyard, period, you have a problem.
Right. It's an indication of bigger problems in your life.
Right. It doesn't matter if it's shallow or if you...
That need attention. They need addressed.
Right. I don't know. I kind of feel like you're already dead. You're in the shallow grave. It's not the end of the world if, like, some dogs dig you up and rip you to pieces and drag you all over the neighborhood or whatever.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's my earbud. That doesn't make sense, but yeah, I got kicked out of the studio.
They kicked you out. Sounds like they're doing
It looks like it's happening again.
Yeah.
I'm getting the same kind of warning. I guess that's this episode of Arguing. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
And share. Why not?
Yeah, what's wrong with your internet, dude? Yeah, your video's like real choppy.
Sometimes I wonder if we should just try and use Zoom.
instead of the Riverside application.
See what happens. Now you're all choppy. I can barely hear you. Now you look normal.
I'm looking to see the
Now you're all smooth again.
like the pyramids.
Am I still choppy?
Nope, you're good. Do you have a favorite fight with your dad?
I don't think we ever had a fight, per se.
Not even a fist fight?
Oh, no.
Huh.
Heck no.
You guys never got into an argument when you were like 14 years old or something? And it's like, and you won't, and you're like, well, I don't figure, and you're, no. He says, what's this? The Antichrist?
Did you know I was gone?
By Nietzsche. Yeah, I knew you were gone, so I repeated my joke.
Oh.
It wasn't really a joke so much as just like a snapshot into 1980s teenage life.
Stumbling across your Nietzsche book and saying, Nietzsche, huh? Not in my house.
Right. Like telling me what it's all about and then mispronouncing the name. Like ignorantly displaying his ignorance. And then it just made me feel real smug. I was like, look at this mother. He doesn't even know how to pronounce the name of the famous German philosopher.
He didn't know that he didn't know.
I didn't know before that he didn't know, and then I knew, and then it was like, this isn't going to end up real well, you know?
I mean, that's how evolution works, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, generation by generation. Same with trauma, generational trauma.
What's that mean?
Well, like, you know, the parent has issues that they don't know that they have, that they didn't deal with, and so they take it out on their kids or something, and then the kids are like, what's their problem? And maybe they don't realize it till they're, you know, in their 40s.
Right.
You know, that there was a problem, and maybe the parent never even knew.
Yeah.
That they were, you know, negatively influenced by their upbringing, and then eventually someone breaks it and changes the parent-child dynamic, and eventually kids come out better and healthier and more confident and sane and, you know, calm and nice, and
yeah,
they get along.
Huh. All right. That sounds fun. I'm not familiar with that.
Good.
I mean, I guess I didn't have a bunch of trauma, or I'm not aware of it. For all I know, when my dad was like 14 years old or something, then his dad might have walked in and started kicking his shit around the room and said, like, you know, like, Twain, what's this Twain book?
Not in my house.
Right, not in my house. You're not reading Huckleberry Finn. Or it might have been Nietzsche. What the hell's this?
That's where
Nietzsche
he got it
in
from.
the house? Because I mean,
Son
he
of a
could
bitch.
well have been reading Nietzsche, you know, in 1966 or whatever.
Yeah, that's where your dad got it from.
Mm-hmm.
He was just repeating what he heard.
Yeah, he did never know different. He might have read the whole catalog. Like, he might have known it front and back, but just never knew that it wasn't pronounced Nietzsche. Do you know your neighbors?
Yeah, I know my neighbors.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know their names?
Absolutely.
It's a pretty tight-knit community.
Small town.
Right. I don't know mine. I don't know my neighbors' names. I don't know if that means I'm a bad neighbor or whatever, but I don't.
No, in a big city, I would keep to myself. I mean, I keep to myself anyway. I just happen to know these people.
Right. Understood. You haven't like actively went out and said, "Hey, I'm Jerry."
The only time I did anything like that was when
Here's a fruit basket.
a neighbor a couple houses down, the dad died, and I made him a skillet of cornbread and took it to him. But other than that, I've never really gone and, you know, talked with the neighbors.
Understood. How was that received? Like, my dad just died, and here's a skillet of cornbread. It's like
I think it was really well received. It was several days after, and aren't you supposed to do that? Take food so that have to do less of the mundane
Yeah.
stuff. And he was an old school dude, always cutting firewood, and bunch of kids, and always, they all worked together out in the yard every day after work. He'd work full time, and then he'd be working in the yard till the sun went down, and real friendly. And they heated their house with wood, and they just had like cords and cords of firewood, always cutting firewood, and always working, fixing engines, and just always doing stuff. So I thought an old school cast iron skillet full of cornbread would work, and I think it did.
That's good. Yeah. Sounds all right. I mean, I wouldn't turn it down, but yeah, that is what you're supposed to do. My neighbors, I have like some just like kind of common names for them based on my observations. They're the Catholics, and then there's the snowbirds that aren't really around in the wintertime, and then there's the Halloween house,
Yeah.
and then there's the Trumps, they've got a flag and everything, and then there's divorced dad lives down on the corner. Those are I have no idea what their names are. I just say, hey, how you doing? And then in my mind I'm like, hey, divorced dad.
You don't call them those things.
Not to their faces, no.
Right, yeah.
I feel like it's like I'm making progress though, because when I was a kid, my neighbors were the Dukes and the Skunks.
That's considerable progress. I think so.
Might have to might have to mute me. I might have to get muted on that part there. And then
Well, you didn't say it.
people just have to imagine. I'm just relating what I heard. Right.
It's not. You're not calling anyone that. That's what people told you they were.
Right.
None of that was good enough to save Papa John's from his job.
Uh,
Do you have thoughts throughout the day about things, continuations maybe of previous things, and just not take the time to write them down, and then they're just gone?
yeah. All the time.
Yep. It's like music.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you gotta kind of put it down somewhere, or else you're gonna forget it. In my world.
Do you have that moment though when you think, "Oh, I got this. I know this one's stuck." Like this. I won't forget this.
Right. Right. Right.
Over and over.
Yeah.
Many times.
Yeah.
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 It's the same with a grocery list.
Right. Right. You think you're going to remember
Obviously, I
it.
know we need toilet paper. I don't need to write that down.
Right. Right.
And then you forget to get toilet paper.
Yep. That's right. Yes, I think that's a part of the human condition. You trust yourself, and really you shouldn't trust yourself. You should,
Less and less as the years go by.
Yeah.
I trust myself less and less.
right? To remember those basic things. I don't know. I tend to be a big note taker because I don't trust myself. So
Me too.
I've been
for
burned.
years now.
I've been burned too many times, man.
Yep. Yep. Same here.
Okay. Sounds good, dude.
Thanks for jumping in, though.
Yeah. So you say that we have another couple of minutes worth of material from the previous episode.
I think probably 10 to 20.
Okay. I can't remember what those were, but it seemed like it was a lot of material. I don't know how much of it was worth it, but
It starts off. So where I ended the one with the Age of Aquarius stuff.
yeah.
The next thing was like, do you think you could tell the difference between different races just on the street? And then I said something about like, Germans measuring their features and stuff.
Yeah. We were talking about, can you tell the difference between a German and a Belgian and an Italian and a Chinese and a Japanese and
Yeah. That's kind of the main thing that's on that one. I don't think that there's a whole lot after that. Okay. Oh, there is some stuff. Yeah, then there's Yeah, there's the dumpster fire neighbor, the Mexican standoff, the um, but then you sing a song about people taste different, and I don't know if I want that out. I don't,
It was. Would you rather like look good, sound good, or smell
yeah, I
good?
had to rate 3 things. Smell, yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right.
You said people taste different. And I said, yeah, some people taste with a small spoon, some people taste with a large fork, and you said, or you could just taste with your nasty Gene Simmons tongue. I mean, so that is funny. It is
Right.
funny.
Phil Collins and Vladimir Putin.
Yeah. Exactly. That's in there. That's all good stuff.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's okay.
I guess that's this episode of Arguing. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
And share. Why not?
The rabbit flushed the birds out of the firewood and the cinder blocks in the mud beneath the trees.